What are some of the major factors in determining the value of a business, Mark?
Ain't that the $64 question? Mm-hmm. Well, there's, I'm sure, several textbooks in this building on the topic, and it is pretty much industry by industry too. But there's some basic tenets that, from 20 years of living the hard life of valuing businesses or seeing people figure out what is the value of a business, there are some generic rules that you can live by. And as they say in real estate, location, location, location. I would say in business valuations, it's EBITDA, EBITDA, EBITDA. It's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. A lot of people call that cash flow. Free cash flow is really net of your annual capital expenditures to keep the shop running. But let's just leave it at EBITDA, pre-tax earnings. And the theory there is, if I've got two companies, let's take, we're working with a waste management company right now. So you've got two companies and they go and pick up garbage. And let's say they're similar types of garbage and similar businesses and they're nearby. Both do about 10 million in sales. If one makes $2 million and the other makes nothing, I'll let you figure out which one's more valuable. It's the one that makes $2 million, because you know, the theory, everybody in this building will have at some point in their schooling learned discounted cash flow and net present value, which is basically taking the future cash flows of a business and bringing them back to today at a discount rate that is your rate of return that you need to make on your invested money. Well, that's all fine and good, but there's two little details. What's the discount rate? And on top of it all, you have to project what the sales and earnings and balance sheet of this company are going to be for the next 5 years. I don't know anybody who can do that, even roughly. So the corollary of the discounted cash flow methodology is basically, you look at the history. How much have these guys made? They made $2 million. What's the likelihood that they're going to make $2 million going forward for the next 3, 5, 10 years? And the more likely that they're going to make that is the higher a multiple we're going to put on that cash flow. So you always talk about multiples of EBITDA, you know, like it's, if you're a company that just, you're transaction oriented, you know, you will never see that customer again, you're only as good as your next sale. You'll sell it 1 or 2 times cash flow. If you're a business where someone, like I love the insurance business, you know, like every year those invoices come in and you go, what am I going to do? You know, you may go, how many people go shopping? You know, like you sign the check and you send it in and year out. What a great recurring revenue business. I love those words, recurring revenue. And the more recurring revenue you have, the higher your multiple will be, and therefore the higher the value of your business. And if you have a business with sales and earnings growth that is like that, you know, sales have been going up for several years, earnings have been going up for several years, well, that suggests that they're going to keep doing that. If they're flat, and so you're going to get a good multiple. If they're flat, you're not going to get quite so good a multiple. And guess what? If the sales are going down and the earnings are going down, you're not going to get a very good price. So whatever your industry, profitability, earnings, cash flow, EBITDA, call it what you will, that's the biggest driver in any industry, how much money your business makes. You could be a $100 million business in revenues, but if you don't make any money, you're not worth as much as a $10 million business that makes $5 million a year. So cash flow, earnings is number one. Recurring revenue, you know, the ability to prove to buyers that for the next several years, this cash flow is going to be there, these earnings are going to be there. That gives them more confidence to pay a higher price. And then sales and earnings growth trends. If you've got a historical growth trend that's good, that's a pretty good safe bet that you're going to, you know, continue this, and people can pay a higher price. So those are the generic descriptions of how to value your business or how to improve the value of your business.